Bada boom, bada bang, bada bop. We have the Saucony Triumph 23 at the Mint Hill Shoe Market for review. A lot of you might know this, and I know for a lot of you out there, you feel similarly. Triumph 20, one of my personal favorite all-time daily trainers. And a lot of the people who've tried the Triumph 20 and 21, like my guy James Northey on the Supwell app, they love that shoe. So we're gonna see if this can live up to the legacy of those older Triumphs. Now, if you are looking for a new daily trainer like this guy or a new Max Cushion Cruiser, you gotta make sure you're on the Supwell app. It's my app. It's the best buy, sell, and trade marketplace out there. We got 2,000 members now, people posting great deals all over the US and people all over the world getting after it, putting in the work daily. So if you're looking for a new shoe, get in with us. It's the best place to find a discounted shoe. And if you're looking for a new inspirational segment of folks to align yourself with, make sure you're on the Supwell app. All right, get that mileage in and enjoy today's video. Saucony Triumph 23 sitting in this box here. I am actually super hyped for this one. This guy's back like Jordan. We've just got to figure out which Jordan. It could be 96 Jordan, it could be Wizards Jordan. I really hope it's not the Wizards Jordan. But why is it back? Some people might be wondering, why is it back? It never left. There was a Triumph 22. Oh no, it left. Triumph 22 here. This was hands down one of the worst running shoes of 2024. This thing was horrible. Thick, chunky upper. It was an absolute sweat box. Firm midsole. And the weird thing is that the big deal in the Triumph 22 is that they switched it over to Piba, which is supposed to be soft and bouncy. And then for some reason, they made it so much firmer than the last version. 10 millimeter drop as well, which felt thin in the forefoot. And you can just see up here in the very front, there's not a lot of foam. And then the weight was atrocious. This thing was so heavy. Yeah, you get a lot of rubber, but you just get so much bulk with the foam and on the upper. And then not that much stack. This is not a low stack shoe, but if you compare it to the other releases, the Nimbus, all those shoes I highlighted yesterday, Nimbus, Neo Vista 2, that wasn't even out yet, but More V5, Hoka Bondi. It just was not competitive for weight, for stack, not enough stack for how much weight it has. And then just things like this where the upper was just, look how thick this tongue is. There's nothing wrong with a thick tongue, but they just made this shoe a suffocatingly heavy and padded sweat box. We called it the oomph. It was not the Triumph, it was the oomph. And the other sad thing was that the Triumph 20 and 21 were two of the best, most loved, most versatile daily trainers out there. So they took a franchise that was known for being about fun, bounce, durability, reliability, and range, being able to be a fast shoe, a slow shoe, a long run shoe. And they made it, I don't even know what they made it. I guess this was trying to be the Hoka competitor. This is trying to be like the Bondi. Whatever the intent was, it did not work. There was a few people who liked this, mostly bigger runners. That was the feedback that I kept getting, that I wasn't putting enough force down into the shoe, which is fine. I have no problem with things being for bigger runners, but that was never the spirit of the shoe. This was never a high force shoe. It was a cushion shoe that people across all different types of running styles, sizes, foot strikes loved. That was the beauty of the Triumph 20 and the 21. That foam was chameleon foam. It was Goldilocks foam. This thing was not. So I think I've set the tone for how much I hated this thing. I did get it up to 22 or 100 miles. And now we're never going to have to see this thing again. Saucony Triumph 22. Get the heck out of here. What is interesting, though, is last year, Saucony also dropped the Hurricane. It's actually outside right now, or outside of this room. I'm not going to go get it, but that used the same Power Run PB foam that's in the Triumph 23 here, but to a much better result. And the Hurricane, which was actually a stability shoe, it felt soft, it felt bouncy. Something about the tuning of the Power Run PB and the Triumph 22 just felt so firm. And that, again, was another disappointment because we've come to know and love the Power Run PB foam from the Speed and the Endorphin Pro. Well, the last Speed last year was terrible too, but the Endorphin Pro 4, Endorphin Pro 3, Speed 3, and then in the Triumph 22, it was firm. That was just super surprising and not what we were expecting. So overall, it was a miss. And as you can see behind this box here, there are so many good shoes on the market at this $160 price point and below. Salomon Aero Goat 3. This is the shoe that, in my mind, has taken the spot of the Triumph. It uses the same exact foam type as the Triumph 20 and 21. It's a beaded TPU, so soft and bouncy. It's not so soft, but so bouncy, and it has this nice soft cushion feel once you get it going. Very lightweight. This is what the Triumph 22 should have been. And then, of course, we have the hype prints right now. The Adidas Evo SL. This thing is $150 for the full race foam. $150 for the full race foam. Meanwhile, Saucony was selling this absolute brick for $160. Terrible. And guess what? They're raising the price of the Triumph to $170. That's coming soon. It's $160 right now, but Saucony is raising prices across the board. Meanwhile, you have the Aero Goat, which is still at $160, and the Evo SL, which is more of a fast shoe, at $150. And then, boom, another $150 daily trainer that has the soft bounce, comfort, lots of stack, lightweight. This comes in at 250 grams. It's honestly just disrespectful when you think how heavy this thing. It just feels heavy. Not showing that thing anymore. 250 grams. Awesome foam here. The compression is beautiful. The impact absorption is beautiful, and it's great for spending a long time on feet. The Neo Vista 2 takes what this does, adds a plastic plate, adds a firmer foam for stability, but this is more of the daily option. So really competitive. Saucony dropped a few good shoes this year. They are getting some momentum back, so I am hopeful that this thing will be good. I think it's going to be good. Let us see. Bada boom. Ooh, bada bang. All right. Right away, I can tell you, man, this is lighter. This is lighter. And let's see, the tongue is less padded. Overall, they just made a lot of minor adjustments. Oh, still 10 millimeter drop. I saw that last night when I was doing some research to prep for this. 10 millimeter drop. That's not what we want to see. But let's see. Power Run PB foam. My hope for this is that, yeah, it's still a 10 millimeter drop, but they lightened up the weight. Could they soften up the foam a touch? It was just too firm in the last generation. It does look like they added a better geometry. Look, the rocker is back or here for the first time. This was never a highly rockered shoe. And we have a nice, gentle heel bevel back here. Padding is still there on the upper, but it's just not as aggressive and egregious. I guess we will have to bring this other one back. I mean, look, it honestly makes me mad to look at the Triumph 22. This is not a bit. It's not a bit how angry I am. It's because they took a beautiful shoe in the Triumph 20. I should bring it over here, and I will when we do the specs. But they took a beautiful shoe, and they just butchered it. But it looks like they're returning it. Okay, good things here in the Triumph 23. The upper is more streamlined. It's not as bulky. The tongue has lost the padding. The rear has lost the padding. Also looks like the foam in general is more streamlined. It is sticking out of the back still. Let's see, to the touch. It slightly softer, maybe. Lighter for sure. And then rubber on the bottom. I mean, look at the rubber on the Triumph 23. Another thing where it's just adding so much weight. Yes, you want a lot of rubber coverage to be a durable workhorse, but you don't need all that. Bang. They went back to a more strategic rubber layout here. So did a lot of things to potentially make this, yeah, it does feel softer. I'm hoping this is softer. Potentially make this a better daily trainer. They went full max cushion in this version here, trying to make this more of a comfort oriented shoe, which it was not. It was not a very comfortable shoe at all. With this one, it's giving me more versatile daily trainer vibes. It really feels like it's returning to the spirit of the Triumph 20 and 21. Is giving 96 Jordan. This is giving 96 Jordan. And the shoe situation in here is just so egregious again. I need to figure something out. All right, to set some expectations here and to give you a history lesson, the Saucony Triumph 22 came in at 328.25 grams. That is heavy. The only other shoes that come in at that weight, let me show you. Things like this. Hoka Skyward X, 332 grams. These super stacked, funky, chunky monkeys with 50 millimeters in the heel, plastic plates, carbon plates, dual foam, lots of cushion. These are the shoes at 330 grams. The Triumph does not have any of that. The Bondi is also up there, but that has more foam. Same thing with the Vomero. So the stack of the Triumph would only come in around 37 or something, but you just get so much weight. I had to go into the archives for this one, going back to the year 2022. The Triumph 20, and this is the Run Shield version, which is a waterproof upper. 360 miles on this pair is 298 grams. Now the 21 was the same shoe as this with a minor upper update, so same exact midsole. And man, this Power on Plus foam, so good. This is the beaded TPU. The impact absorption, the bounce, the capability of it across a wide range of paces, just beautiful. One of the best shoes of all time. Maybe the best daily trainer ever. Maybe. Is the Triumph 23 going to be the best daily trainer ever? I doubt it. Because I don't even know if any brand can, with the market right now, do what the Triumph did. Because people like having rotations, and I don't know, AeroGoat is the closest thing to it, and it might even be better. But here's the thing, it's all about compared to your Aero. The AeroGoat is great, and I love it, but there's just so many other things on the market. We have the Skyward X, we have the Neo Vista 2. There's so many options for daily miles that I think it's just hard to pull for a standard daily trainer now as much as we did in the past if you're a shoe enthusiast. The Super Blast had just come out when the Triumph 20 was on the market. I didn't have it. I didn't have a super max stack shoe. This was my tallest shoe. This is what I did my long runs in. I even did some workouts in this. This was one of the last $160 shoes that was at the peak of the lineup and peak of the category. Now Saucony has the Endorphin Trainer, which is above this. Right, so things have shifted. But if it rides well, then it will start taking up a lot of our miles. We'll see. All right, this is definitely heavier than the AeroGoat. Let's see. Yeah, 292 grams. Man, you got to give it to Saucony for listening to the feedback, because 330, this was egregious. That was honestly disrespectful. I can't believe they did that, but we are now back where we should be. 292. That is not bad at all. That's actually really good for what this is. Let's see the other side here. 296, so decent QA check. That's a 4 millimeter or 4 gram difference. Compare it to our friend the AeroGoat, top of the pile right now. Oof, that's tough. AeroGoat took your old style, jacked it, and got hot on it. Meanwhile, you fell off. This thing is 272 grams. That's 20 grams lighter. Ugh. Maybe you should have stuck with the beaded TPU instead of trying to do the PIBA. And this is the other thing. Brands have moved away from doing PIBA. That was the selling point of the Triumph 22 over here. That, it's the PIBA foam, polyether block amide. It's the race foam, but they had to make it so firm for it to work in here. And everyone was excited because it's non-plated race foam, but just it didn't quite work. So we'll see if they can get it right on this second rev, but we've been seeing that you don't need PIBA to make a banger of a shoe. AeroGoat, that's not PIBA, that's TPU. Same thing with this guy, the Neo Zen, that's TPU. And the Evo SL is TPEE. So we'll see. We'll see what they can do here. Hit them with the stack check. Alright, moment of truth here. By the way, it's Sunday morning. This is the long run day. It is, what time is it as we speak here? This is my watch. Garmin doesn't, I'm trying to shake it awake. Hold on. Let's get the stack first and I'll tell you the time. Ooh, 39.4. Okay, that is just about what I would expect, and that's a decent stack to weight ratio. That really is. It is a 10 millimeter drop, so you're not getting as much foam in the forefoot as some of these other options here. For example, Aero Goat, that's 8 millimeter drop, and Neo Zen, that's even lower, but that's a decent amount of stack. And one of the things I was thinking about was, is this potentially caught between being a daily trainer like an Aero Goat, a Nova Blast, a Neo Zen, and then a super max stack shoe or a max cushion shoe like a Nimbus? Because it's not quite a Nimbus or a Vomero, but it's also definitely not a Nova Blast. It's somewhere in between. But yeah, look at the Neo Zen here, 44 millimeters in the back, which is wild. Aero Goat, about 100 miles. And yeah, I ran on this again this past week. The Aero Goat, I got it up to 100, but I'm still running it. It's just so good. Even compared to, I think I ran 4 new shoes this week. And there's one day where I ran the Supernova Prima, which is fine. But then I ran the Aero Goat in the afternoon. It's just so much better. It's an awesome shoe. Bang! That is the exact same stack as the Triumph. Look at that. Same stack, same weight. But it just is doing it much better. At least much better than the last version. So, yeah, headline here is that they've made this a lot lighter. Should be more competitive. It looks more competitive on paper. But the market right now is so crowded. It's not 2022 anymore. It's not 2023 anymore. There's newer brands to the US market like Salomon that are eating share. They're the more established brands like Asics that have won the hearts and the minds of Hobby Jugger Nation. And then you have brands like Nike and Adidas just doing their thing. Saucony is the brand that since 2022, 2023, when I got into the game, has had the most disappointing course of development. Every single shoe that I owned in 2022 was a Saucony. I only bought Saucony, Speed 3, Triumph, Shift 3, Pro 3. I dang near owned their entire lineup. And then I gravitated away from them as their shoes stopped being as good and other brands started making competitive products. So this is a make or break type of shoe for Saucony. They've had some good ones. The Endorphin Trainer is a good one, but not a lot of people are going to buy that shoe. Not everyone wants a shoe like that. This is one that it's right at the center of the market right now, a cushion daily trainer. Oh boy. This is like the NBA Finals, Game 7. You're going to be trash or fire? What I was going to say was that Ira Reevesy is awake. I woke up at 5:30. I usually wake up at 4:30, but I woke up at 5:30. And this gosh dang kid is up. He just wakes up so early. I haven't had my coffee yet or anything. I barely had water. That's why my voice sounds like this. Alright, swag for this morning. We're coming with the full Supwell summer kit. Bang, Supwell mileage shorts. You see these things? Super clean. Barrett killed it on these, so that's what we're rocking with this morning. These are 6 inches with pockets, unlined, deep pockets too. So you can put all your stack in there. We wanted to do something that could do lifestyle and running. So there we go. And then this is one of the running shirts we're coming with. Again, Barrett just absolutely crushed it. Chromed out mileage. This thing is just insane. So we're going to have the new drop coming in June. These are the same running shirt types as last time. We'll have a bunch of the casual t-shirts too. We got the heavyweight mileage coming again. I think you saw me rocking that earlier this week. We got some new cotton t-shirts coming. It's going to be a party. It's going to be a mileage party. I have to eat my breakfast. Hold on, I was about to go eat my breakfast, and then I realized I didn't say anything about the looks. Just throw the clinical lighting on this. Ooh, that's bright. Yeah, looks. This is completely inoffensive, right? I think it's completely inoffensive. It has this weird sheen to it on the back where it's supposed to look dirty. I don't know. And same thing on the front. They pre-patinaed it with some tan, but it's not bad. It's not terrible looking. It's not great looking. This was the best colorway for sure. White with the gray on the bottom. Extremely uninspiring, but it will stay relatively clean, at least on the midsole part, and then you have the white on the front. And then look at that, yeah, you can see right here, the midsole goes from white to tan in the middle. I think Saucony is in the bottom of the power rankings for the big established brands for design. They just have not been doing a good job with design. This one's fine, though. I'll give this a solid 5 or 6 out of 10. This is a B- from the design. It's not offensive, but it's not great either. All right, breakfast this morning. We went to the farmer's market yesterday, so I'm doing some of my favorite farmer's market bread. This is the Team Rose bread. If you live in the Charlotte area, you might know these guys. This is a family that runs a car or a bakery out of their carport. So they converted their carport into a bread shop. Super cool. Shout out to my man Doug putting in work. And I was telling this story yesterday, but I went over to give him a hat at his stall yesterday, and when I did that, he said, man, I've seen these hats around. So that was such a cool moment for me, because I don't know, I'm just here doing my thing, grinding, eating toast, making coffee, stacking mileage. And of course, I pack up the hats and I ship them when people buy them. And I see, okay, they're going to Switzerland, they're going here, they're going there, but I don't really fathom what's going on, how many people are getting them, and turns out people are using them in real life, which is awesome in Charlotte. So shout out to everyone who's rocking the hobby jogger hats and who appreciates the movement and what we're doing. It's crazy seeing how much it's grown this year. And yeah, our foot is on the gas. We got Meredith helping out with the site. She's been crushing it. Grant helping out with Instagram, the reels, helping me make sure everything is consistent. We're up to 2 reels a day and a post, just consistent execution daily. And Barrett, who's been chefing on all the design and helping out with the Instagram posts as well. So it's a well-oiled machine right now. We're trying to figure out how to take it to the next level. I still have my 9 to 5. There's a long way to go, but I appreciate everybody who's rocking with us and who connects with the message of mileage and what it means to be a hobby jogger, just getting out here. And that's what he asked me yesterday. He said, what does hobby jogger mean? And I said, bro, we do it for the love of the game. We don't get paid to do this. It's just running is something that adds to our life. And so everyone out here who connects with that, I appreciate you. We're going to keep it going. Mileage. Sometimes when you're in the work, it's so hard to see the progress. Reevesy is chanting in his room. 6:07. Bro, 6 is the new 8 in this house. That's crazy. I never thought 6:30 would feel late, but Mason's school started at 7 this past year, so we had to get out of the house and have everyone ready by... No, her school started at 7:30, so we had to get out of the house by 7, meaning by 6:30, everyone was scrambling around already. Craziness. Anyway, what I was going to say is that so often when you're in the work, it's hard to see the progress. I think every day I see, okay, 1 person signs up for the app, 2 people sign up for the app. We're stacking these long runs, and if you're consistent with the long runs, hitting 2 hours every week, you're not going to see your paces all of a sudden drop, but you might look back in a year and say, man, I'm now able to run 15 miles at a pace that I couldn't hold for 10 last year. And that's the power of consistency. It's so hard to stick with it, and when it's just the daily work, executing. And for me, man, I can feel like, oh, we're not going anywhere, we're not getting anywhere. But then I look up and see, man, we just hit 2,000 members on the app. That's crazy. But it's hard to see that all the time. What I see all the time is, oh, 1 person signed up today, 2 people signed up today. Did anyone sign up today? And then we look up and see the progress. So if you're working towards something big, shout out to you. It's all about consistency for me. That's the message. All right. Coffee this morning. This is one of my new favorite ones this year. It is strong. It's high caffeine content. It's the Nelson Moreno natural process from Honduras. You got the red fruit punch tasting notes, the grape and the dark chocolate. It is a fruit bomb. Super good. It's like raspberry jam mixed with chocolate ganache. It is fire. Perfectly toasted. I mean, look at that thing. Golden brown with some milk chocolate aspirations. That's beautiful. All right, for the toppings today, I'm going to go best jam ever. I went back to my man at the farmer's market. He literally has the best jams ever. This is the strawberry rhubarb. And then he's building an empire. He purchased another farm. It was called Dancing Bees. He purchased their farm, and now he's calling the honey the best honey ever. So he's doing numbers over there. Shout out to my man putting in work. So I'm going to do peanut butter honey on one, jam on the other. It's funny because sometimes people say they'll come to the channel and get annoyed that I'm showing my breakfast or something because they want to just see the shoes, but the breakfast and the nutrition has more to do with the run performance than the shoes. And I love the shoes more than anybody else, but when it comes to the actual performance out there, it's probably 5th or 6th on the list. Gotta redistribute that. If I don't take my share, we'll end up in the drain in her cup. Boom. Beautiful morning today. And look at that, man. Breakfast of champions. Farmer's market toast, farmer's market jam, farmer's market honey. And of course, we got the black and white coffee. All right, I'll eat this and then I'll see you. We got kids up. No. Was it fire? Sure? No, that's mine. This is mine. This is yours. This is yours. It's super good, right?
It's 1, 2, but I want to.
Is that your favorite book?
Yeah.
Yeah, it says the new day. It is the morning of a new day. Oh, it's the morning of a new day today. The sun is shining. Kenny Bear gets up out of bed.
Where's Skinny Bear?
Where do you think he is? Yeah. Yeah, it's all him. They're showing all the different things that he does to get ready. So first, he washes his face and hands. Then he brushes his teeth. He combs his hair.
That walk is on the other one.
I know, they're not there. They're playing.
Didn't we just put...
The next page?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's white.
There, go sit.
Don't mess anymore with
takeover this summer. I might touch down in your city, start handing out free hobby jogger hats. Like I'm Drake in the God's Plan video. They call me the Oprah of mileage. You get some mileage, you get some mileage, you get some mileage. Alright, lacing up the Triumph 23 here. What I'm terrified about with the shoe is that they've just made it a Clifton Bondi now. And from the colorway to the feel and the specs, this just seems like one of those shoes that is potentially gonna be milk toast. Just not really the best for anything. Reliable, but not that impressive. That's the vibe it's giving me, and it's so funny. Look at this. They even copied the Clifton elf ear out on the back here. You see how this does this thing? Let me show you. It's so sad. Look at this. So this is the last Triumph right here. The oomph, the one I hated. Look at the back. They were copying Hoka with trying to make this a super chunky shoe, but it's even clearer now. Look at this. With the Clifton elf ear, they legit just jacked the entire swag back here. And this is the issue with Saucony right now. Ever since 2023, they've just completely lost their identity. No identity whatsoever. There is nothing about Saucony that makes them special anymore. They used to be the heart of the hobby jogger community. The Ride, the Triumph, the Endorphin Pro 3. They've just lost their way. Puma is now that brand. Especially once the Velocity 4 drops. I think that thing is going to be a daily training banger. People just aren't checking for Saucony like that anymore. Maybe this is going to make me eat my words, but yeah, there's nothing about them that is unique anymore, which is just sad. But fit of this, slightly narrower up in the front. I do have some of that rubbing on the side, but the fit is good lengthwise. This is perfect in a 10.5. I have a little bit of room actually, which is nice. That's what you want in a cushion shoe like this. You don't want your max stack shoe to be all tight and race fitting. So this is nice comfortable upper. The step in is firmer than I expected. It still feels firm. It feels just as firm as the 22, but let's do a walk test and see if that changes as we walk. This still feels big, man. It still feels like a big shoe. I know they've shaved 40 grams of weight, which is wild. Nice job, Saucony. But with the padding on the back and how tall this heel color is, it still feels like a big shoe with the chunky heel foam and also the 10mm drop. It just feels like a lot of shoe on foot. It's putting it more in that Vomero Bondi category for me than the Aero Goat category, at least for walking here. It almost does feel like a lifestyle casual shoe. And it's not super soft, squishy. It is comfortable, but I'm not getting that that I get from the Vomero in the More V5. Definitely on the firmer side for me. So I'm about 100 and my weight fluctuates from 150 to 160. So let's call it 155, 160, 6'2". So if you're 200 pounds or heavier than I am, this might feel softer to you. But for me, I mean, you can see there's no, as I'm lifting this up and putting it down, there's literally no compression of this foam. So at least for standing and casual use, not going to bottom out, but also doesn't have that soft squish of something like even a Nimbus, and definitely nowhere near a 1080 or a More V5 when it comes to the softness. So feels like a standard daily trainer that has slightly more foam in the back. We will have to see though. Plan for this morning, 20-mile long run, nothing crazy, just some time on feet. Not going to do a workout probably. I might do some pace pickup if I'm feeling it, but I really want to recover to hit my next workout this week hard. So some good mileage. This will probably take us around 2.5 hours. So this is going to be a good test of these things. Let us do this thing, baby. Man, I can't lie to you, bro. If my fit was at a 9 out of 10 before, we're at about a 7 now. These are -2 on the swag scale. These have no swag whatsoever. This is just not it. And it's inoffensive, but it's just, why is it so hard for some of these brands to make a good colorway? I would just default for Saucony, because they have that nice one on the ride. Just default every launch shoe, just do all white with the gum sole. Just give us that all white with the gum sole option on your training shoes, and it'll be a banger every time. It's like Nike with the Proto Pack, and Adidas always does the white with the black and some red. Saucony, give us that old school Boston look. These are just, man, I actually have to bring these down to the street. Yeah, walking in these more. These are comfortable for sure. Comfortable and grippy. And I'm feeling like I might be getting some more bounce out of them. Ooh. Let's do this thing. Solid. Early overreaction. Solid and inoffensive. This is violently serviceable. Yeah, I can still feel that 10mm drop with my heel being up higher, but the roll is nicer on this one. The shaved weight I can feel, although there's still a ton of padding in the upper. And the bounce is nice, but it's definitely on the firmer side for me at my jogging paces and my size. Feels like more of an improvement to the terrible last version than it is a return to the 20 and 21. But we'll see. 2 minutes in on the 20 miler. Yeah, man, this needs 8. This needs an 8mm drop. And it's weird, in the case of this, I actually don't think the front is too low. I'm getting some nice bounce off the front, but the back is just hitting and dragging before I want it to. The back is too tall. So they could even shave some more weight off this by take the back down 1 or 2 millimeters. Mile 1, 7:43 pace. This is upgraded, promoted out of oomph territory, so good job, Saucony. This is no longer the oomph. Bounce is nice. And anything faster than my recovery paces, this thing is coming alive. They've softened up the foam just a touch, and it makes a big difference. Still not loving the 10mm drop, but we can work with it. Yeah, at the minimum, this is solid. Still feeling like this lacks an identity though. Is it a daily trainer? Or is it a max cushion comfort shoe? What the heck? What the heck? That's not supple certified. Well, that's not supple certified. You just left a weed whacker whacking. He's been whacking too much weed. I thought that was mile 4. That was mile 3. Could have used an extra hour of sleep. I didn't even check my Garmin sleep score this morning because I didn't think it was going to be good. All right, that was mile 4, so 30 minutes in. Passes the basic daily trainer test. But unfortunately, I'm not sure we're going to get much more than that. This is just pretty uninspiring the longer I go. It's fine. There's some bounce,
but it's just nothing special. Just really feels like they're caught in a no man's land with this. They don't know what to do with the shoe. They don't know what to do with most of their lineup right now. It's fine. 6 out of 10 so far. I just don't know why I would ever pull this instead of the Aero Glide or the Nova Blast or the Bondi or the Vomero 18 or the Nimbus, not to mention all the more expensive shoes. Yeah, this is one of those shoes where the longer you go, the worse it feels. It's not what you want when you're paying more than $140. As of now, I'm feeling Wizards Michael Jordan. This is back like Wizards Jordan. Not gonna win the chip, but solid, serviceable player that's gonna draw the views. Man, most shoes break in and soften up throughout a run. These feel like they're getting harder. I don't even know how that's possible. So again, I should emphasize, I'm around 155 pounds, but I've really got to stomp on them to get them going. I can't just jog. They take some force to activate, which with some of these shoes, daily trainers, I can, some I can't. But this one, it's noticeable. That's how I felt with the last version too. And I don't really want a max cushion shoe that requires force to get going. The Mag Max is similar, but doesn't feel as bad at the slower paces or just as firm as this thing. And also, that's only $10 more expensive because this is going up to $170 in a few weeks. Actually, I think tomorrow. Mile 6. Got 14 more miles to go. I can't believe it this morning. That's crazy. This is not good. This just can't compete with the top tier running shoes on the market right now. I'm getting my first gel. Putting this camera back too. I don't really have anything more to say. I'll see you when the run is over.
Oh man, we did it. We finished. That was something else, man. This is truly a terrible shoe. Just impressively bad. 20 miles. Didn't feel the best on that run. Relaxed miles. But let's see what we got here. Probably 8:10 pace or something. I was pretty slow today. 7:59 pace, 2 hours, 39 minutes, 42 seconds, 20 miles. Yeah, this thing is impressively bad. My feet hurt after running in this. The bottom of my feet literally hurt. This is not a comfortable shoe at all. This might go on the top 5 least comfortable max cushion shoes list. And this foam, I thought they had softened it up, and in the first 30 minutes, it felt okay, but it's the same exact compound as last time. It's just not comfortable at all. It is so hard. It felt like running on wooden boards or like a pair of Timberland boots toward the end of that run. Just no return whatsoever. And it still feels heavy. And it's rare that I'll complain about the weight of a training shoe, even the Mag Maxes and Nimbies of the world, because for the most part, you're getting the comfort and cushion. Dude, this thing feels heavier than those, even though it's lighter than them, because it's just so brick-like. It's the definition of a brick. Saucony Triumph 23. And when I started this whole, it's back like Jordan, I was thinking, all right, 23, Michael Jordan. There's a lot of eras of Jordan where he came back. It could have been baseball. It could have been when he came back in 96. It could have been when he came back on the Wizards. And initially I was thinking, first few miles, okay, this is probably going to be a Wizards return, just a solid workhorse shoe, and that's what I said. But no, I was wrong. What I did not consider is back like 97 Jordan, going back to back, going for the title again. That's what this thing is.
is going for the back-to-back title of worst running shoe of the year. All right, no pussyfooting today. Saucony Triumph 23. This is not good. This is a firm brick. They made it 40 grams lighter, but it has every single issue that I hated about the Triumph 22. So let's start with the top. There's a lot of padding around the back still, which is adding bulk and weight to the shoe. It doesn't feel like a particularly heavy shoe on the top, but it still has that hot sweat box feel of the 22. Now going down to the midsole, same exact Power Run PB foam, and I'm not sure what they did with this foam in the 22 that makes it so much worse than the Endorphin Speed series and the Endorphin Pro series, but it's as firm as any of the other foams out there, and this is now one of the worst training foams on the market. I can say with certainty this, the On Helion foam that's in the Cloud Surfer, which was another terrible shoe we tried this year, and then the React X, which is in the Vomero. Difference is, with the React X and the Pegasus and the Vomero it's saved because at least you're getting that comfortable squish and feel. With this, there's no squish. There's no squish at all. Once I got past 30 minutes, this was hard as a board. I tried to do 1 mile of marathon pace at around mile 15 because I said, I'm gonna be slamming this thing. Let me make sure I actually did my due diligence, at least tried to run fast in it so that people can't say you didn't use it correctly, even though this is not a speed shoe. So I threw in 1 mile at marathon pace. Felt even worse. There's no pop whatsoever. There's just no return. I'm losing all my energy in this thing, and somehow there's no roll either. It looks like there's gonna be a roll to it, but it is just so flat. It's flat, it's firm, and it's uninspiring. Now, it's 160 right now on the site I got it. It's going up to 170. At that $170 price point, that's where you have the Nimbus, that's where you have the Bondi, and the Vomero is $15 cheaper. There's nothing this shoe does that's better than any of those. The only person who's gonna buy this shoe and be happy is someone who's bought the Triumph series for years and walks in it. So if you're looking for a dog walking shoe, this will be amazing. This will be a great shoe for lacing it up and taking the trash down to the street. If your doctor prescribed the walking habit for exercise and you're watching this video because you walked into a running store and they laced you up in this and you thought it was comfortable, this is gonna be fine. But if you're running more than 30 to 45 minutes, this is not a good shoe. This is a poor excuse of an update. It has everything that I hated about the 22. It's big, it's clunky. I don't know how they messed this up so badly because the Power Run PB was such a good foam in some of the other Saucony shoes. Hokas. And that's the thing. Saucony, if you are listening to me, I know it's not your fault. Saucony product people, I know it's not your fault. It's Wolverine Worldwide's fault. So Wolverine Worldwide is the company that owns Saucony, and they want to turn Saucony into Hoka. Everybody wants to be Hoka. Guess what? Hoka isn't the end-all be-all of running shoes. Yes, they had some good hits with max cushion shoes, but not everybody needs to try to serve a cushioned walking shoe. There's lots of us who still run. There's lots of us who actually want the performance shoes, who want solid daily trainers. This is not that. This feels like they took the Ride 18, slightly tweaked the foam, made it bigger and bulkier, and made it $30 more expensive. For the price difference, I would just get the Ride 18. But what I was trying to say is Wolverine Worldwide, they want Saucony to go for more of the casual audience. That's why they're trying to make this look like the Clifton. That's why they're trying to make this look like the Bondi. That's why they dropped the Hurricane to compete with the Bondi. But they're getting away from what made them so great in 2022, 2023, early 2020. Saucony was at the top of the game. The Endorphin Speed series pioneered a new category of shoes. The Endorphin Pro was the first true hobby jogger race shoe. Then it became the Adios Pro 3, and now it's the Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3, and Puma's really eating Saucony's lunch. And guess what? Puma has an office up in Boston, and I learned last year that Puma hired a lot of the Saucony people. So there you go. That's why Puma is the new Saucony. But this is not good. I can't recommend it to anybody. If you're looking for a walking shoe, I would either go Bondi or Vomero. If you're looking for a cushioned everyday running shoe that's gonna be fun and bouncy, I would either go for the Salomon Aeroglide 3 at $160, much smoother ride, lighter weight than this, better bounce, just a way more comfortable feel. Or I'd go for the Mizuno Neo Zen if you want the utmost and comfortable bounce with a softer ride. If you want something fast, oh my goodness, run away from this thing as fast as you can. This is one of the slowest shoes I've tried. I felt like I was sprinting, trying to hit marathon pace in this, and I'm not feeling particularly strong this morning, but just such an uncomfortable shoe to try to run fast in. So awkward, just no life to it, no give. It's weird. There's no squish, and there's also no bounce when you try to run fast. The longer you go and the faster you try to go in this thing, the worse it is. So if you're looking for a walking shoe and for some reason you like the way that this looks, I mean, it's not a bad looking shoe. It's completely fine, uninspiring, but fine. This is gonna be good, but there's just so many better options, and especially with how close this is to the last generation, I would just get the last version. I think with our Running Warehouse discount code, you can get the last version for something like $112. I didn't like that one, and I didn't like this one, but I know a lot of people did like that one. Not a lot of people, actually. I know a small segment of people did like that one. People who were putting a lot of force down into the shoe thought it was okay. So if you want another Saucony Triumph 22, just get that. 40 grams lighter, I don't know how it feels so bad with the weight change. I think they've just got to give up on this, trying to make this Power Run PB a training foam. It just does not have the life. Whatever they've done to stiffen it up in here is not good. So Triumph 23, for the first 30 minutes, it was a 6 out of 10. Solid 6 out of 10. But you can get so many shoes for running up to 30, 45 minutes or an hour that are cheaper than this. New Balance 880, the Brooks Ghost Max. I mean, I can list 20 other shoes that are better than this thing. This is a bad shoe. This is a truly bad running shoe. Saucony used to be my favorite brand, man. If you want a Saucony shoe, get the Ride 18 for something basic. It's not bad for $140. If you're doing high mileage training, get the Endorphin Trainer. That is a really solid shoe. This is not competitive with any of those other shoes that I mentioned. I'm already gonna have to spend a lot of time editing this video because I was showing my breakfast and the new shorts and the new shirts. So I might as well just end this video now. These are the type of shoes that just get me angry. Not good. This is a fail. Saucony Triumph 23. This is the Michael Jordan of going for the trophy of, I want to say mediocrity, but it's worse than mediocrity. It just makes me sad. All right, that's all I have for you today. I usually shower. I was thinking about this. I usually shower before I come out here and do the breakdown. It wasn't even worth the shower today. I don't want to have the risk of the mare coming out, doing the lawnmower. I don't even need to look presentable or clean for this one. This is not good. If I had some advice for Saucony, let me try to make this, because I know the product people, they do watch. It's the marketing people that don't. They don't. The marketing people sleep on us, but the product people watch. Go back to the TPU. Go back to the beaded TPU. It's so good. Look at what Salomon is doing. Go up to an 8 or down to an 8mm drop. This has more than enough foam. It's just not a good foam. So go back to the TPU. Make this an 8mm drop. You can even shave down this upper more. You're still trying to do too much with it. Come on, Saucony. Unless you want to just be the walking brand, you want to be the #1 most prescribed walking brand out there, you can't be Hoka. Hoka is already Hoka. I don't know why people don't understand this. You can't be somebody else. You can only be yourself. It's the type of stuff that just drives me crazy. Saucony has no identity right now. They're wandering in the wilderness. They're in the lost lagoon of laziness. Get this. Be back tomorrow with another video. Man, I was so angry I didn't even talk about the gear review. So this is my first time going 20 in the new Supwell shorts. They're fire. They're super dry still. I love this material. And this shirt is great. I just love the supple running shirts. They dry quickly too. And I think this is my favorite, the design. Barrett he went crazy on this, man, crazy. With the chromed out mileage, it's a banger. And guess what? We're gonna make this stuff affordable. I don't give a gosh dang about tariffs. I'll let the tariffs eat the margin so we can get the product out to the people worldwide. We're taking over. We're taking over.